For decades in the games industry, it has been this obsession with graphics, and this is pretty much a battlefield for game companies that existed since the days of the old console wars in the 80s and 90s. Everyone wanted to compete on who had the most bits on a console, who had the most realistic graphics on the market, and truly, this was a solid selling point for the industry for a while. The problem, however, is that you can't just factor graphics anymore since there's a wide variety of gameplay types that range in gameplay style alone, unlike the case of the 90s gaming. There's a whole plethora of genres that have been solidified by now in the games industry, and I don't have to rely all in the time on the most realistic graphics unless you have meant to make it like a Hollywood movie or like a simulation game, which very few in the industry can easily make. But maybe you can call me crazy, maybe you feel the same than me, but I feel like these days games, especially in the AAA game industry, feel less like an excuse to have fun and more like an excuse to suck your wallet dry constantly, waste your time eternally, and make you consume the literal pink slime of art direction until you forget it in a month. I have a day job to attend every midweek morning. I have other projects to partake in, including games that I make or video content that I have to keep up to. And listen, I barely have no time as a grown 34-year-old adult to waste time with time wasters. When I'm hyped for a game like Pizza Tower, like I genuinely was, I was hyped because of the frantic gameplay, the crazy ass art direction, the absolute loony bin the game was, which was pretty fun to play. And I played it, and it was actually fun. And I could basically tell at first for not just the trailers for the game alone and the videos, but also for the word of mouth the game was given. Nowadays, Pizza Tower video content felt like shitposts that were fun to watch, so it invited you to instantly buy the game and have fun playing it yourself. I don't have that same feeling when I see a trailer for a AAA game that is made only to show me how pornographically advanced the graphics are in a game like Forspoken. Listen, my computer is from 2012 or so. I can run these advanced Unreal Engine 5 tier AAA games on my computer, and I barely touch consoles either. If you're not enticing me on how the game actually plays, how am I supposed to sacrifice my poor rusty GPU to give your game a chance? None of the trailers, none of the videos, nothing nearly tells me how the game exactly plays. And when some piece of content actually tells me on how it exactly plays, I realize, oh, this game is just wanting to waste my time and money. Because guess what? Most of these games are designed to waste your time and money constantly forever, despite the fact that you'll forget about them in a month. And then they shut down the game's servers eventually. Unskippable cinematics are the least of my concerns here. Most games are just basically hours upon hours of filler. Diablo 4, full of filler. Every Far Cry game after Far Cry 3, full of filler. Fucking Starfield? Oh, you bet that's gonna be a lot of filler. No amount of pronouns can save you from that blunder. The same repetitive fetch quests and time wasters repeated all across the entire playthrough. People even make jokes about bandit camps being copy-pasted just for the sake of filling playtime hours of nothing. Then you got something like Baldur's Gate 3, which can actually last hours too, but it does it in a way that is not a literal copy-paste of the gameplay itself, to the point of letting you build up a story on your character and have a lot of variety in it. This is an anomaly. Meanwhile, games like Starfield or Fallout 4 or Skyrim these days fill you with literal busy work even if the actual storyline has ended. This is dog shit. Pair that with the aggressive monetization these games can have. Oh honey, don't even get me started on the aggressive monetization here. Microtransactions, loot boxes, season passes, battle passes, everything and anything to suck up to the last cent from you dry as a live service game. Seems like a lot of game companies are too busy making a game suck up to your wallet dry than to make an actual game fun. And this has been even the case with games like Blood Hunt, for which we've made a video about. Wonder how that turned out. It's like these game companies don't have the interest in the game consumer anymore. No, we can exactly pinpoint the main reason why these problems exist in the first place. The executive class. Oh boy, here goes JMAA doing a capitalism rant again. But seriously, who else do you think is in charge of making these companies' decisions? These executives don't know fucking shit about how video games work, and yet they make 99% of the decisions a game company has. And a lot of these are incredibly boneheaded and stupid. All in the interest of not serving the game consumer audience, but serving the shareholders of a company. And let me tell you, this shit-eating bitch who makes porn games for a living knows better how to make actual fun games than those executive cunts. That says a lot about the games industry.